Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show. 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 Dub Show. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show.
Happy New Year from the Mizzle Dub Show. We're only, now 3 days into the 2023, and we already have doubled some stuff so far. 3 days in.
Yes.
Yes, we will eventually get to talking about sports because this is what we do. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this subject, which is basically has transcended the sports world. There was a very anticipated Monday Night Football game tonight,
which I thought was going to be an amazing game. That was going to be an amazing game.
Which it was starting out that way.
Yeah.
The score was 7-3. Bengals took their first position, marched down the field. Joe Burrow throws an absolute laser to Boyd for the touchdown. Buffalo comes back, gets a field goal out of it. It's 7-3. And then, which looked like a normal football play, T. Higgins makes a grab. Bills safety Darman Hamlin makes a tackle. And then it reminds you so much of Hank Gathers back in 1990.
Yeah.
He just collapses and falls on the turf.
Yeah.
And immediately EMTs, medical people arrive. Both teams take a knee. Both teams start praying. The stadium known as Paul Brown Stadium is just an absolute shock. And truth be told, I was at a buddy's house watching the first Top Gun movie, but I had the game on my phone, and it dropped on the floor right after it became 7-3, and all of a sudden, I look at the phone, and I'm getting all these alerts, and I'm just like, okay, what the hell happened? What's going on? So then I see the video. So then we turn the movie off, and we go directly to ESPN, and we're listening to all the reports from Joe Buck, Trey, Lisa Salters, Booger McFarland, Susie Colbert, and Adam Schefter, and them, along with us and the rest of the sports world, just came to the conclusion that
this is bigger.
There was football. No need to play this game.
No, way bigger than football. I mean, if you looked at those players, look at the players' faces. I mean, look at Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. Did you look like they want to go out there and say hike? Do you think their mind was worried about calling a play, throwing a football, or handing off? No, they were even with the Bengals. They were worried about their brother in arms. And I'm kind of glad. I mean, New York took too long to come to a conclusion. So the players and the coaches said, fuck that, we're not playing.
Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor deserve a lot of credit.
Real men.
Because the league was like, okay, go warm up in 5 minutes. And the coaches were like, no.
Troy Vincent came out and said that never was said.
Oh, you never said? Okay.
Troy Vincent said he don't know where that came from. That was a false thing, which I was very upset about. Like 5 minutes. So Troy Vincent came and said that was false.
Okay, so my question is this: was Troy Vincent the one on the phone with McDermott and
yes,
Zach Taylor? Okay,
yes.
So when the head referee was talking to both coaches, they were on the phone with Troy Vincent. That's confirmed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So what Troy Vincent came out and said, there was never about a doubt about finishing that game. They were just trying to come to figure out what they can do. The game was done. They were just trying to. I don't know why it took so long to get back down to the stadium, but there was no. There was a man's health, 24 years old. 24 years old.
Well, the good thing about this was his mother, who was there in the stands in Cincinnati, is able to be with her son. which I don't think would have been a problem if she was not there for
Yeah.
someone to get her a private jet to get to
Brother,
Cincinnati.
I don't know. I'm praying for the best outcome because that what happened to him, it's not looking good. It's not. I mean, the only thing we can do is pray and leave it with the man above, and just continue to just shower that family with all the blessings and prayers that we can give them.
Well, here's one update that just happened about an hour about 45 about an hour and a half ago. So his toy drive fundraiser just topped $3 million in donation after
it's
this
going to be more
after this unfortunate thing.
Bill's
So
Mafia don't mess around.
no, Bill.
And kudos to the jungle. Because
yes.
their fans and the Bills fans were at that hospital, candles lit, prayers up. And what more can you say about Mr. Stephon Diggs? Not only is he a great football player, but he's also a great human being. Because he went to that hospital, hopped out that car. Police said, no. He's like, hold on. That's my brother up there. I need to go make sure he's okay. And they let him in that hospital. So kudos to Bills Mafia. Kudos to the Bengals, that whole organization. You know, like I said, this is bigger than football. This is a young man's life at hand. And
well, here's the thing. And you and I have talked about this for many times, but I mean, they say that football is brotherhood, football is community. Well, the whole community showed up and showed out tonight for DeMar Hamlin and for T. Higgins. And luckily, T. Higgins' mom was with T. Higgins.
Yes.
Because like I said in my post, somebody go console that man and go tell him that was not his fault.
Yes.
Because instantly you thought, okay, in his mind, fault.
My fault.
And like I said, the way he went down, it instantly reminded me of Hank Gathers.
I thought he was gone, bro. Because there was no motion.
And
literally he died. He died on the field for a minute.
He coded. He coded.
Yeah.
And what that means for those in our medical, if you code out, that means you're dead. If you code out,
he was gone.
That means you're dead.
Well, matter. He hasn't heart beating the post, but he may not be there still. You know, I mean, they didn't say they didn't put him. What's the word I'm looking for? What they put you in a coma? They didn't say a coma, so that's kind of a good thing, I believe, because they just said they just put him to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Well, that could be right.
Well, like I said, again, we'll go through all the reports of what we know. Now the latest report that we got, which was about Senate 1118, the update was he had cardiac arrest on the field. So currently he is sedated. Yeah. He is in critical condition.
Yeah.
His spokespeople came out and said that his vitals were normal, we're back to normal, but they did have to put a breathing tube in his throat so he can breathe.
Yeah.
So
a good friend of ours of the show who is a RN, he gave me some form of an update. He said that the condition he's in there's still a long road to go to recovery, but it's going to be hard to get out of what he's in. Basically what he said. He said, that it could basically said it's not good. I'm just leave it at that because I'm not trying to think of what the outcome is because someone close to me went into cardiac arrest and didn't make it. So I'm just praying that this young man gets out. Again,
agreed. And for those that don't know who Hank Gathers was a tremendous, tremendous college basketball player who would have been a lottery draft pick in the NBA.
Agreed.
Went to Lola Marymount University, and died on the court in 1990. And
it's tragic.
Our TVs was locked on SportsCenter with Bob Lee and Chris Berman reporting on this. And that particular year, Lola Marymount got to the Sweet 16. I believe they were eliminated by the eventual national champions, the UNLV Running Rebels, with Larry Johnson and Stacey.
All right, sir.
Fantastic, awesome team. But
Tark.
But the significance of that was indeed Tark the Shark. But the significance was that is Hank Gathers was left-handed, and his teammate and friend Bo Kimball, who did get to play in the NBA and got drafted to the NBA. I remember playing for the Clippers, but Bo Kimball, in tribute in that tournament, shot every free throw left-handed to
Indeed.
honor Hank Gathers. Hank Gathers, number 44, is retired at Lola Marymount, but for us that have watched sports most of our lives, when you saw that happening, you instantly thought of Hank Gathers,
Yeah.
Which was tragic gone too soon, and it's almost like it's like that. It's like Reggie Lewis. For those that don't know who Reggie Lewis was, Reggie Lewis was the captain of the Celtics, took over the captaincy after Larry Bird retired. Reggie Lewis was a fantastic NBA player.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, he collapsed on the practice court and lost his life tragically. So, this is not the first time it has happened like this. But the fact that
the college player, I mean, it's not the same thing, but the one that had that heat stroke, So it's
like I said, it definitely takes your mind off.
That shook the world, man. That shook the sports world and the whole. I mean, I went on my Twitter, and I mean, it was just the timeline was full. Stop the football game. Prayers. Stop the football game. What are we thinking? Blah 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 blah. I'm not blah blah blah. That's kind of a wrong thing to say, but basically. And I want to put this out there, people. Really read what Skip was saying. His words might have been a little wrong, but there was nothing negative about what he put out there on that tweet about that. I just think that it was the wrong, how people put their foot in their mouth, the wrong situation to say something.
Yes.
I believe that's what he did. But clearly he came out and said quickly. He apologized, and that's not what he was. So yeah, really, really read what Skip was saying. I'm not a real big Skip fan because I believe he's a douche. He gets paid to say that though. But yeah, his wording was taken out of content.
It happens, but like I said, if you don't know who Bills Mafia is, the Buffalo Bills fans, who are a tremendous fan base, have done a lot for different people and have donated a lot.
Even for Josh Allen,
different charities,
even for their starting quarterback who didn't need the money, they still raised money for him.
Yeah, so. I mean, you want to talk about good-hearted people. Bills Mafia and their fan base are just absolutely
top notch, A1,
outstanding.
Yeah, I would say they're up there with the Green Bay Packer fans. Packer fans are just as good and loyal to me. So, I mean, hell, they own that stadium, so there you go.
They do. I mean, just to piggyback, which is about Josh Allen, Bills Mafia donated money to a children's hospital after Josh Allen's grandmother passed away back in 2020. That just goes to show you how Bills Mafia is, just what type of people that they are. So definitely,
did they even snowplow the players' houses so they can get to the stadium on game day? They cleared their houses.
That and the parking lot. Yes.
Thank you. So I'm not doing that. First of all, I ain't trying to live nowhere where it's snowing. Hell, I hate this weather that I'm living in right now. It get 50 degrees and I'm thinking it's cold.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. So
let's run it down.
Like I said, whatever you believe in, just send a prayer out for Damar Hamlin and his family and the Bills organization, and therefore the Bengals organization, because I don't know how you bounce back from this. And the ultimate question was, well, how do you? And it sucks because, to piggyback off what you said, this was a game a lot of football fans were looking forward to. On the last show, I said this possibly might be a preview of the AFC Championship game.
Wouldn't be mad at it.
it was so much a pick'em game that we did not even have a pick for this game. We said, you know
That's right.
what?
We didn't
We're
pick
just
this
gonna
game.
watch
We
this
decided
game.
not to pick. That's right. Because we couldn't do it. We just wanted to be fans and watch the game. But
And
that one,
and
when
it
that
is
one
well
up
on
there
its way.
says something needs to be done, no matter how it goes, it was something. It was a reason why that game had to be. It sucks that it had to come to that way, but we all say he works in mysterious ways. So maybe it was something, a tragic incident could have been happening and that needed to be shut down. It just sucks that it had to come at expense of but we never question, right?
I mean, we can ask
You can
God
ask,
why,
but
and then God is
you don't question the
well, like I said, God, when God has a need, God has a need. And, as my pastor says all the time, God has every right to take back what belongs to him. So, which is why I've always said, because this has been my mind frame lately, and it has been over the last couple of years, I just tell people, savor and enjoy the moment. Because really that's all we have is just moments. So savor it and just enjoy it. So definitely any updates that we have, we'll keep you posted and let you know. And the big question is, with a game like this with such importance, because
how do you play it?
this
When do you play it?
was a battle for, yeah, it was a battle for home field
Yeah,
in in the playoffs.
yeah.
It had big implications on trying to get the number one seed because the race for the number one seed is between the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals.
You know what
Considering
I think is
the
going to
Bill,
happen. This is just we're going to get to the rundown of the week. I know most of the show is being spent on this topic because the whole sports world is talking about it. But I think if you play the game Wednesday, flex them to their Sunday game. Oh no, you might have two Monday night games.
no, I don't think there's not a Monday night game on the night. I think this was the last Monday night game of the
Well,
season, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
I
As I
understand, but if they play they can't play if they you're gonna make them. Well, I guess if they make them do a Thursday night game after a Sunday game, if they put Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm,
it's going to be hard to get
it's going to be
that
hard for
game.
the NFL to do this because this game needs to be played. You cannot just. I don't know how they're going to do it. That's just the amazing
because
part of.
well because considering this upcoming week you have the Bills playing the Patriots at home, which both teams win on Sunday. They're in the playoffs. The and the Bengals play the Ravens. In fact, it's for the AFC North title, which the Bengals have a one-game lead on Cincinnati, and
Ooh, it's the
if the
implications.
Beng and if yeah, so yeah, it is hard. So
They're not sleeping in New York right now. You know that, right? New York is not getting no sleep right now because they got to figure out how to get this done.
well, yeah, Park Avenue's got some. Park Avenue has some decisions to
To
make,
make. Yes, indeed.
and it's not the easiest of
No,
decisions.
because they also have to worry about
Also
the health of the players.
correct. Before we get into it, also another in addition to this, one of the greatest referees in
Oh,
NFL history,
yeah,
who lived a tremendous life of 97 years, um,
beautiful.
the first on-field referee to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yes, a referee has a bust in Canton, Ohio. Of course, the legendary Art McNally passed away at 97. Um, like I said, he lived a tremendous life. Just last year, um, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yep,
Spent 50 years as in the NFL.
50
Um,
years?
he only refereed for 9 years, but he stayed in the league office until 2015.
Oh,
So
okay.
a lot of the things, a lot of the things that you see that has happened um, is because of Art McNally. Um, Art McNally was the one that implemented instant replay. Um,
Mm,
he worked, yes, he was the first Super Bowl official replay, which was in Super Bowl 20 between the Bears and the Patriots. Um, so he was a major guy that was a guy that got instant replay involved in football,
yeah.
and definitely so certainly kudos to him. And
He,
again, we're going to try and touch on today. It was a very emotional game between Illinois and Mississippi State. Of course, Mississippi State playing with heavy hearts, losing their head coach like Mike Leach, but
yeah.
they found a way to get it done. It was not the typical Mike Leach type of a game. It was a dogfight, but the Mississippi State Bulldogs get the win in their bowl game, 13-10 over the Fighting Illini of Illinois. And Illinois' defense is very, very, very good. They were the
Yeah,
best
they
scoring
are.
defense all of this season, which is why their defensive coordinator is now the new head coach at Purdue.
Yeah.
Speaking of Purdue, they will have better days,
Oh,
but
oh.
Brian Kelly's Notre Dame pedigree comes to Baton Rouge, and they put up 63 on the Boilermakers, and it's a successful season for Brian Kelly, a 10-4 record, 63-7. They beat the Purdue Boilermakers, but perhaps the game of the day took place in Arlington, Texas, in Jerry's World, as the Tulane Green Wave, with the biggest win by far in their program history, beat the Trojans of Southern California by one, 46-45.
Hey. So only the real team that chops won their bowl game, right? Yeah. Fuck out of here, USC. Moving along.
The Trojans of Southern California
Oh well.
only led, the Trojans led for 59 minutes and 51 seconds.
Mm.
Tulane took the lead with 9 seconds remaining, and it took replay to give Tulane the lead because they originally called the touchdown pass at the tight end incomplete. But when they say thick thighs save lives, well, the tight end's thick thighs saved the game because he literally caught the ball with his legs as the ball did not
And they
hit
say,
the
and
ground.
there's a saying that goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
How you
So
finish.
I guess the Green Wave found a way to finish. So again, fuck out of here, USC.
Well, speaking of the tomahawk chop,
Uh-oh.
as we go back to Thursday a little bit,
Mm-hmm. The real chop.
a very competitive game in the Cheez It Bowl between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Florida State Seminoles. What my partner and my brother thought was going to be a rebuild because he only predicted 4 to 5 wins.
4.
They finished
Oh.
with a 10-win season.
I'll eat all that crow. Give it to me.
And basically building momentum for the upcoming season. Tremendous job by Mike
And
Norvell.
Travis is coming back.
Well, first off, let's just go over Mr. Travis' numbers. 27 of 38.
Mm-hmm.
418 yards. I'm going to say this again. 418 yards. He threw for 4 bills. Four bills and 18 cents. And 2 GDs. And keep this in. Florida State was down 14-3.
Hello.
And came back and took the lead in the fourth quarter and never looked back. So tremendous building program for the Seminoles. as they win the Cheez Bowl 35-32.
Now,
So
now,
we'll
now,
just
let
run
me
down the
say this real
scores.
quick. Let me say this real quick. Now,
Go ahead.
next year, I'm going in with high expectations. You know how that goes when I start feeling good about something. You know,
ACC perhaps contention for the ACC title.
Well. I'm not. If they play that card, they're the number one team in the portal right now. They're getting high talent, so I should see us. Aren't they expanding the playoffs next year? I mean, well, this year?
Not 23, 24 perhaps.
Okay.
I think 2020.
Okay.
I think
so
20,
we'll get.
I think
So we'll get in the
think,
bowl game. We'll win the necessary games to get into a bowl game. Now, how many wins is that? I don't know. But I know we will win 6 or more. How about that? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So
it's not gonna be 4.
So you're saying he's going up 2 wins. Okay, so
it'll be 6 or more.
Just to cap off this week, New Mexico State beat Bowling Green in the Quick Lanes Bowl 24-19. Buffalo beats Georgia Southern Camilla Bowl 23-21. Memphis
Those
beats
two
Utah
always
State.
play good together for some odd reason.
Georgia Southern Buffalo,
always
magic happens. Memphis beats Utah State in the First Responders Bowl 38-10. East Carolina, the Birmingham Bowl beats Coastal Carolina 53-29. The Rate Bowl, Wisconsin beats Oklahoma State 24-17. Duke beats UCF 30-13. The Liberty Bowl between Arkansas and Kansas, mostly known for basketball, actually gave us a basketball score, took 3 overtimes, but it's the Razorbacks, Pig Suey, that gets the win, 55-53. And actually, it was an 18-0 fourth quarter by Kansas that got it into overtime. So, Daniels for Kansas threw for 5 bills.
Yeah, he
544 yards.
Yeah, he did. And made it look easy, though.
And 2 interceptions. And of course, the bowl that never disappoints, the Holiday Bowl, saw the Oregon Ducks get by the North Carolina Tar Heels 20-27. Another one of former Mike Leach's. Another one of yes it was. Another former Mike Leach team, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They beat the Ole Miss Rebels in the Texas Bowl 42-25. One of my brother's favorite games, the Pinstripe. One of my brother's favorite games, the Pinstripe Bowl at Stadium. Saw Minnesota beat Syracuse 20-20. In the Alamo Bowl,
that was a good game too.
Competitive game, but Washington beats Texas 27-20. It's Mike Loxley that got doused in mayo in the Mayo Bowl as Maryland beats NC State.
Tell him how you feel about that, brother. Tell him how you feel about that.
You ain't dumping no damn mayonnaise on me. I'm sorry. No. Can't. Like Mike Singletary, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it.
What you don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, if you get invited to a bowl game, it's kind of helps your program out a little bit. So my brother said if he was coaching, he would decline going to that bowl game just because he don't want to get doused in mayonnaise. Well, hell, still go there, just lose the game.
You know my integrity won't allow me to do that.
Exactly, because we play to win the game, not lose.
The Tony the Tiger symbol was a very good game also. Pittsburgh.
Tony the Tiger got a damn bowl game.
Yes, Tony the Tiger. Frosted Flakes, they're great, has a bowl game. Yes, he has the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, which was a very good game. The Pittsburgh
Panthers was, though, yeah, indeed.
Beat the UCLA Bruins in Alaska field goal 37-35, which the one Bruins fan that we know was sad and cried, but Tulane made up for it by beating USC.
That's why he was talking shit on Facebook about the USC game.
Of course. The Fighting Irish. This was also another good game.
You know what? Like, really good, though.
Yeah. They get the win 45-38. Notre Dame bounces back with a solid 9-win season, and I think they're trending in the right direction as well. I love their head coach.
Been saying that.
They're trending in the right direction. It went to overtime in Arizona, the Arizona Bowl. The Ohio Bobcats beat the Wyoming Cowboys 30-27. And Rocky Top, Tennessee in the Battle of Orange in the Orange Bowl.
That was a lot of orange on TV.
Yes, it was. Dark orange, creamsicle orange.
Even your sister was like, "That's a lot of orange." I'm like, "Yeah,
a whole lot of orange." But the Orange Bowl title goes to Tennessee. They bounced back with a tremendous 11-2 season. They beat Clemson. Clemson finishes 11-3.
Unlike Dabo, that wasn't a Dabo team.
No, which could mean watch out because they might be scary in 23.
Exactly, because he don't fall off.
They might come in playing pissed off. It looked promising, but in his final college game in Alabama, Bryce Young throws for 5 TDs as they torch the Kansas State Wildcats 45-20. Kansas State led 10-7 at the end of the first quarter, and then Nick Saban and the Roll Tide just said, "Hold my Dr. Pepper," since they're in Fansville, and they just went to town to basically score 38 unanswered and get the win. They finished 11-2. Kansas State finished 10-4, but Kansas State, great season. They won the Big 12 championship. Kudos to them. Iowa shuts out Tennessee. Kentucky. Iowa shuts out Kentucky in the Music City Bowl, 21-0. But normally the semifinals in the playoffs normally produce blowouts.
This is true.
But the 2 semifinal games were just of tremendous joy in the Fiesta Bowl, the highest scoring Fiesta Bowl in history. But the TCU Horned Frogs under Sonny Dykes, who was a Mike Leach disciple, and my co-host's second favorite college football team,
undercover, because it's Florida State all the way up here, and it's TCU. Only because I know someone that went to TCU, and I did like LaDainian Tomlinson. He was there, and of course, the Red Rifle went to TCU as well.
Yes, he did, Mr. Andy Dalton, who won a Rose Bowl game over Wisconsin as a member of the TCU Horned Frogs.
I've been an undercover TCU fan for a while, but it's Florida State all day, every day. Everybody know that.
Yeah, Gary Patterson put that program on the map, rightfully so. Yep. And Sonny Dykes has taken it to heights it has never gotten to.
That could have been that cow.
Yeah.
That's just the Bay Area. That's just the Bay Area boy in me. I wish what he doing at TCU. That could have been done at Cal.
Why you couldn't do that in Berkeley? What the hell?
Thank you.
But anyhow, Max Duggan was tremendous, but Demarcadero, Emari Demarcadero, playing for the injured running back.
Mm-hmm.
All he just decided to do was catch the ball 17 times. Ran for $150. Scored a touchdown. And by the way, average damn near 9 yards pop. I'm just,
Can we just do it all?
I'm just gonna put that. I'm just gonna put that there. But Mr. Quentin Johnson. Mr. Quentin Johnson. He only had 6 catches for $163, averaging 27 yards a catch.
So that means every time he was catching the ball was damn near a first down.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But Matt Duggan was solid, got the win. But Michigan could have faltered. They made it a game. It got close, but at the end, the TCU Horned Frogs,
too much.
After losing the Big 12 championship, a lot of people thought that TCU might have gotten the short end of the stick. But they stuck with them.
Yeah.
Put them in the playoff.
Yeah.
And now they're playing for the national championship.
Against
my Bulldogs, which first
a rivalry.
It was
looking pretty ugly. It was looking pretty ugly.
It was shaky in the beginning. The Ohio State Buckeyes got off to a very fast start, but Stinson Bennett held down the fort and said, chill out, play your game, and it'll come down to the end.
Yeah.
42-41 was the final score.
That was a hell of a
Stinson Bennett
game, though.
showed
I
why
mean, you
he
couldn't ask those young men
showed
to put
why
on a
he is a
better
winner.
performance than they did that night. I mean,
No.
both games were intense. Like, I literally was sitting straight up watching both of those
Yes.
games. I was not relaxing, didn't miss a single play. Those games were like nail biters, so yeah.
Well, I tell you what, though, here's the kicker. I think Justin Fields and C.J. Stroud might be changing the dynamic at quarterback at Ohio State, because the rule of thumb for many years was you didn't draft a quarterback from Alabama,
Nope.
and you didn't draft a quarterback from Ohio State because they normally did not pan out in the NFL.
Nope.
Justin Fields, what he's done this past season on a very mediocre Bears team,
Tremendous.
Just give that man some targets and develop him.
Well,
I'm telling you, the Bears offense might be some
Claypool, give them an offseason. Give him and Chase Claypool offseason. Claypool should be in Justin Fields' guest house. When you wake up in the morning, you're throwing footballs. You're in the playbook. What you
watching film.
Exactly. Chemistry, getting that. I believe the Bears will be all right, because I believe Aaron Rodgers is gone, so that division is going to be open. I mean, you clearly can see Minnesota does this. They do this, and they do this. So,
well, I kept saying that for the next few years, if it happens, it may come down to the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears battling it out for the NFC North.
Because they're trending.
I'm just saying, because we have been on the Detroit Lions bandwagon the last year and a half, almost 2 years, and now you're seeing why.
Is a damn good coach. He's a
coach. Now you're seeing why. And you know what? Kudos to the NFL for this one, and kudos to NBC for putting the Lions on Sunday Night Football against the Packers. Winner, in a sense, winner goes in. So Sunday Night Football
I think they did that. I want to say the Lions' purpose, though, but they did that for Aaron Rodgers, bro. That was not for the Lions.
I mean, I know why they did it.
I get that, but I'm talking
about
just piggybacking off what you're saying, but that was more for Aaron Rodgers, because isn't if they win that game, do they get in the playoffs? Or the Packers already playing?
I said, the Packers and the Patriots are the only ones that control their destiny. If the Bills lose to the Patriots and the Patriots win, the Patriots are in. If the Packers beat the Lions, the Packers are in. The Packers and the Packers and the Patriots are the only two teams that control their destiny in the playoffs. So
that's why they put that game Sunday night. No disrespect to the Lions, because the Lions deserve to be on that on Sunday Night Football. But they mainly did that for Aaron Rodgers, and that's a shame, because Dan Campbell having them boys play good football.
But also, kudos to the NFL to put the Jaguars and Titans on ABC ESPN on Saturday for the AFC South Division title.
Oh, that's going to be
in Duval. So Duval, get ready, put your teal on, put your black on, sell out the Gator Bowl, and dadgummit, root for your Jaguars. Yes,
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I'm picking the Jaguars to win that game, because history shows no matter who the Jaguars play, the last week in the NFL, they crushed the Colts last year, and the Colts was a way better team, and all the Colts had to do was win that game and get into the playoffs. That's why the Raider and the Charger game became more important. If they tied, the Chargers got in because the Colts lost. So, and you can go years back, years back, years back. If you look up week 17 or whatever, now the new whatever, look up the Jaguars record. I guarantee you they have a plus victory on week 17/18. So I'm picking the Jaguars to get into the playoffs.
He's picking the Jaguars to win the South Division title. I'm not going to argue that. And like we kept saying all year long, damn it, don't go against Mike Tomlin. And damn it, Kenny Pickett showed you why on Sunday.
Bro, he's a
He will
coach.
be the next leading. He will be the next leading guy to lead the Steelers to what the Steelers normally do. And of course,
yeah,
shout out to Antioch, California. Shout out to Antioch, California, Najee Harris. I did not know that was his first 100-yard game of the season, and he picked a heck of a time to do it.
Exactly.
But that throw,
are the Steelers still in the hunt?
The Steelers still have a shot to make the playoffs.
Do they need a lot? Do they need a lot though, or do they have a shot? Like,
okay. Now, as I'm trying to get to these scenarios here, as I've gone to the iPad, if you will. Now, like as we said, the Patriots are the only team that controls their own destiny.
Correct.
If they win out, they win. So here is the playoff scenarios for the AFC. So here's what we know for a fact. We know for a fact that the Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Ravens, Chargers, we know they're in. They're automatically. They've already clinched their spot for the playoffs. So that leaves, and of course, the winner of the AFC South, that's still yet to be determined. So either the Titans or the Jaguars will win the South, and that'll be the only team from that division to get in the playoffs. So, with that said, if we're just doing playoffs right now, the three teams that are in the hunt for the playoffs is the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. Now, here's the scenarios for the number 7 seed. We're just going to talk about the last seed in the playoffs in the AFC. Now, like we already said, Patriots win, they're in.
Yes.
If they lose, and if the Patriots lose, and the Dolphins lose, and the Jets and Steelers lose, then the Patriots still get in.
That's a lot of losing.
The Dolphins can get in. Yeah, right. Exactly. The Dolphins can get in if they beat the Jets and the Pats lose to the Bills. The Steelers get in if they beat the Browns, Dolphins lose, Patriots lose. So even if the Jaguars lose, the Jaguars can still get in if the Dolphins, Patriots, and Steelers lose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that is the scenario.
I'm still picking the Jaguars to handle their business, though.
That's the scenario for the last wild card spot in the AFC. So just to go over it again.
Yeah, I got the.
Like I said,
when we do our roundabout picks, you can always count me in. I got the Jaguars getting in the playoffs, man. I just it's Doug Peterson, man. I mean,
yeah. So here's the wild card stuff. Here's the last spot of the NFC. So we already know Eagles, Vikings, 49ers, Giants, Cowboys, Buccaneers, they're in the playoffs.
So it's only one spot open for in the NFC?
Well, remember, the NFC East has still not been decided yet. It's just the Cowboys and the Eagles are in, but the NFC East has not been decided. Only the Buccaneers, 49ers, and the Vikings have clinched their divisions. Okay.
But the Giants are in, right? Did you say the Giants?
The Giants are in, yes. With their win over the Colts, they are officially in the playoffs.
Okay.
All right. So here's how the Eagles can get home field advantage. They win or tie against the Giants. The Cowboys lose or tie against the Commies. And my 49ers lose or tie the Cardinals. That's how the Eagles get home field.
The Cardinals.
Okay. So the Niners can clinch home field. They beat the Cardinals. Eagles lose to the Giants. The Arlington Cowboys can clinch home field advantage and be the number one seed if they beat the Commies. Eagles lose to the Giants. The Niners lose and tie the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't see that scenario happening.
Okay. So obviously, Eagles win. They win the East. They get home field.
Right.
Eagles lose. The Cowboys win. The Cowboys can get the NFC East title. But if the Niners win and the Eagles lose, then the road to Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona will go through Gene Stadium at Great America in Santa Clara, California.
Hey, worser things has happened in the last week in NFL. Like I say, the Jaguars have broken many hearts on week 17/18.
Ask the New Orleans Saints as they scored a touchdown on that lateral. And John Carney, who was a fantastic kicker his whole career, missed the extra point, and the Saints missed out on going to the playoffs.
There it is. So stranger things have happened in the NFL. So those scenarios, a few of those scenarios can come down, but I just don't think I don't see the Niners losing to the Cardinals.
Especially with the Cardinals on their fourth string quarterback.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see that going down that way. Definitely don't see the Eagles losing, but that might be a competitive game. But the Giants are in, so it don't matter if they win or lose.
True.
The Eagles are fighting for something more greater.
True, so, but the question is Jalen Hurts going to play on Sunday? That's the question.
Wait a minute, I forgot about that. Now, if it's Gardner Minshew, that's a different. Yeah. That's a different thing. But it's still, are the Giants going to rest their players, knowing that no matter the outcome of this game, they're in there?
Well, I think the Giants
can they get a higher seed?
The Giants will be no higher than a 5 seed.
So if they lose, they're still the 5 seed.
If they lose, they either are the 5th or the 6th seed.
So I mean, I guess they can play for who they don't want to play. So I mean that, but other than that,
but I mean, like I said, it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry in the NFC East.
Oh, of course.
And you know the Giants will love nothing more than to stick to the Eagles. You know that.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Well, actually, no. Okay, so let me retract that and rephrase it. Okay, so the Giants will be no worse than the 6th seed. Okay. They can't be higher than the 5th seed. So here's boy. So in regards to the NFC East, the Eagles can fall all the way down to the 5th seed if they lose on Sunday, and the Cowboys win, and the Cowboys win the East. So right now.
So that's why this game is greater than anything for the Eagles. Yeah.
Yes. So right now, as we speak, at 1:43 in the morning, the Eagles right now are the 1 seed. The Niners, by way of better conference record, are the 2 seed. Vikings are the 3 seed. Buccaneers, 4, they win the South. Yeah. Cowboys clinch a spot. They're trying to perhaps still steal away the NFC East from the Giants. From the Eagles, I'm sorry. Giants are the 6th seed. Can't go no higher. So they're stuck in the 6th seed regardless, which means they will get a rematch with the Vikings in Minnesota, which was a barn burner, which came down to a Greg Joseph game-winning field goal. Okay, so right now, as it stands, right now, the last spot right now, if the playoffs were to end today, the last slot belongs right now to the Seattle Seahawks. So right now, yes, right now, if the playoffs were to start today, Seattle's in.
Well,
even though considering the Lions and Packers both have a better conference record. Seattle's conference record is 5-6. The Lions and the Packers are 6-5. Go figure. Anyhow, so here's the scenario for the 7th seed in the NFC. As we already said, the Packers are the only one that controls their own destiny. They beat the Lions, they're in a story.
Yes.
The Lions, if they beat Green Bay and the Seahawks lose or tie to the Rams, or tie the Packers, or the Seahawks lose to the Rams, or tie the Packers, or the Seahawks and Rams tie, and the Commanders beat the Cowboys, then the Lions get in.
That's a lot.
Say that 3 times fast.
That's a lot.
They get in. The Seahawks. Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a lot.
The Seahawks, they get in if they. Yeah, it is. The Seahawks, if they win against the Rams, which I don't know, it's a toss-up, and the Packers lose or tie to the Lions, or tie versus the Rams, and the Lions and the Packers tie, and the Commanders lose or tie to the Cowboys, then the Seahawks get in.
That's still a lot for them too.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So
a lot of dominoes.
That is a lot. That is a lot of dominoes. So what it sounds like is that if the Lions would win, they would need to. Well, I mean, the Lions will know their fate on Sunday night because the Seahawks are playing at 125. So we know we know what we're aiming for when we get to that. Yeah. Okay, so as we can't believe we're already here to the final regular season game of the year already. Wow, boy, it just goes by too fast.
You know what? Football really always does. It's like you can take a break from watching basketball and baseball, but football, you got to watch that every week or you will miss something because it just.
Yeah. You really will. Okay. We'll go over the scores from week 17 real quick. And
I'll give you. Yeah, you go ahead and do the rundown.
Week 18, and we'll call it night. Okay, so Cowboys took care of business. They beat the Titans 27-13. Cardinals, as I called it, on a young Huku game-winning field goal, beat the Cardinals 2019. Lions put up a 40-burger on the Bears 41-10. Broncos made it interesting, but the Chiefs got the win 27-24. The Patriots get revenge on the Dolphins 23-21. And Tua and again, Teddy Bridgewater just cannot finish a damn game for whatever reason. Giants in the playoffs. Congratulations to Brian Dabble and his staff. They beat the Colts 30-10 to get in. Saints beat the Eagles 20-10. Buccaneers found a way to get it done. They beat the Panthers 30-24. But I still think Steve Wilkes should get that interim tag turned off and be the head coach going into 2023. Because he has done a fantastic job since being the interim coach and showing what they can do. And the damn commies bust out a pig as their mascot, General Tutty, if you will, and they lay an egg against the Browns 24-10. And again, I asked the question, why did you go back to Carson Wentz? Why? I don't get it. Jaguars took care of business against the Texans 31-3. Seahawks beat the Jets 23-6. Packers get revenge of the Vikings 41-17. In the Battle of Inglewood, the Chargers beat the Rams 31-10. Steelers got the win 16-13 over the Ravens. But very briefly, it was a fantastic game. Who would have thought a third-string quarterback and a second-string quarterback might have given you the NFL Game of the Year? And like I said, even my own brother gave me shit.
I thought it was going to be a 50-burger.
My brother was giving me shit talking about it was going to be a blowout, and I kept telling him, this feels like a trap game. I am nervous as hell, and I was proved to be right because for most of that game, it felt like a trap game. And first off, I
There was
know
a
that
lot of Niner fans that was nervous. I know we have a lot of Niner fans that watch the game. This is not me talking shit, but you felt a lot of confidence. Some Niner fans, like it wasn't you because you just said it, and you said it in the previous show, but you felt real confident when you found out that Derek Carr was getting benched. A little more confident, more than say, I mean, I knew you guys were going to win the game, but Stidham got me to think about the future a little bit. I need to see what he's going to do against Kansas City. Now, I don't know if Kansas City are going to be playing their starters. Well, no, I think they will because they're still fighting for the one, right?
they're fighting for the number 1 seed. Yes, they are.
So it will be a full-fledged team then. Okay. Well, let's see what the young man does against KC because he went up against the number 1 rated defense and put up 34 points.
And threw for 365. The Raiders had 500 yards of total offense against the Niners.
He ain't have
not even
500 yards all season long, I don't think. Maybe twice.
Not even the Chiefs did that, and the Chiefs put up 44 on the Niners in Santa Clara. And
can we say Devontae Adams is that guy, a bad man? I mean,
he has torched him like Larry Fitzgerald. Those two in particular, since I've become an adult, those two have made a career of torching my 49ers alone.
Win or lose.
Those two can get busts in Canton just off of what they did against my team, respectively, alone. I'm just telling you.
The second catch, bro.
7 catches.
Second catch. Just going all out. I mean, I feel anytime the ball touches Devontae Adams' hands, he's going to catch it. That's how I feel anytime he can get his hands on the ball. I mean, the first touchdown, first of all, good ball placement.
Stidham put it right on the money.
And then second of all, Devontae Adams just being Devontae Adams. I mean,
the toe drag swag in the J11s.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this. This is going to be on YouTube, so that you can come back and watch this every time you want to feel this
and comment.
I will say this: this is the first time the Raiders and Niners have played in anything, and Niner fans have not given me shit. All I've gotten from Niner fans is that was one hell of a game, and I can totally agree. I was with Niner fans watching the game, and what they left with saying was that was one hell of a game. I appreciate that. There's nothing there was nothing because I can say this. You were a little nervous with that game. There was no moral victory.
I was nervous as hell.
I'm not happy with a loss. But if Jarrett Stidham and what I text you, just imagine if he had a defense. Just imagine if the Raiders had a defense. We were up 10 at halftime, which is another blown double-digit lead after halftime. But I'm not with the what ifs and that. But that was just one hell of a game. And I appreciate Niner fans not being the typical Niner fans that I know they can be.
Well, again, the defense all year long. And this is where sometimes I want to smack my own fan base. Because I said, okay, chill out. Even the freaking 1985 Chicago Bears had one bad game, and it just so happened Dan Marino torched them on Monday Night Football. Mm-hmm. Okay, even the 2000 Ravens had some bad games to where they gave up points and yards. Same thing with the 2002 Buccaneers. Same thing with the 2008 Steelers. As great as the Niners defense has been playing all year,
it can happen.
There's going to be some bad. They're going to give up some points and some yards.
Yeah.
Happened against the Chiefs, they gave up 44. And it just so happened to happen against the Raiders, they gave up 34. And like I said, Jarrett Stidham got the ball out quick, was tremendous. But do I still think the Niners have that defense still in Super Bowl and the defense is still that special? Yes, because when they needed to make a play,
Great
they
defenses.
they
That
batted the ball in the air. Drake Jackson got the interception off the batted pass.
yeah.
Nick Bosa didn't get no sacks, but Nick Bosa
It was
pushing Colton Miller
made an
into
effect.
the on the interception by Deshaun Gibson to set up the Robbie Gold field goal. Again, it wasn't necessarily a sack, but Bosa, who clearly
Did what
showed
he had to
why
do.
he more than likely will be the defensive player of the year,
Yeah.
made a play.
Yeah.
And it was an instinctive play.
And honestly, let me tell you this. Looking at it from the all 22, if Stidham was able to step into that throw, Devontae
Adams was open.
to the house.
Adam
That was
yeah,
it. I
that
mean,
was going to be.
I'm not because like I said, there's no what ifs. But if you look at the film,
Devontae was open.
Devontae Adams had a step, and Stidham
Devontae was open.
Deliver that ball.
Yeah, Devontae.
I believe he would have caught it.
Devontae was going to wave bye-bye, and there was going to be
just
another,
like he did in Denver.
There was going to be
about to happen.
There was going to be a walk-off
because there was no safety help up there.
No, not at all.
Because
let me just say this. Yes, there was a whole lot of red in that stadium, and I'll just say this: if this game was played in Oakland, California, you would not see a whole lot of red in that stadium.
No, it would have been red in the stadium. Don't get me wrong, but it would not have been 72%. It would not have been 72% Niner fans in Oakland.
Not like that. Not like that.
I promise you.
Not like that.
I'm willing to put that on everything. No. That would not have happened in Oakland.
Not with that said, and this is something Rodney said on Raider Nation Radio, who does his show at my job on Mondays at the Underground Lounge. Yeah. He but basically he said, in this town, in the city that I live in, which so happens to be it's called the entertainment capital of the world for a reason. Okay. If you don't win, they will not show up. They will go find things to do. I'll give you a perfect example. My beloved Running Rebels of UNLV, who are off to a good start. Yep. They are 11-3 on the season. 11-3.
Well, then.
Okay, 11-3. That's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Kruger, just like his dad Lon, is well on his way to making this program relevant again. But the Thomas and Mack is not filled like it used to be in the Shark years because the program fell off.
Yeah.
Now I guarantee you, the program gets back on the Mac. I guarantee you, the Mac will fill back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Gold Knights. The reason why they have sold out T-Mobile Arena is because they've been winning. Okay, last year was the first year. Yeah, in the first year, but last year was the first year they didn't make the playoffs, so attendance kind of doubled down. Well, now
so basically what you're getting to, there's no loyal fans out in Vegas.
Conference, but that's not what I'm getting. That's not what I'm getting to. I mean, that's not what I'm getting to. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, winter fans are not going to show up. Okay,
Facts.
The reason why Las Vegas Aces fans show up is because they're putting on a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. I guarantee you, if Ziegler, you're going to see what you saw Sunday, more of the opposing team's fan base take over that stadium. And I guarantee you, the Maverick would have been like, what the F is going on? Why is there I don't need to be seeing them in my stadium. No. So again,
well, Al Davis wouldn't have took 9 years of Derek Carr. I guarantee you that.
No, he wouldn't have. And that's a whole other story for a different day. Because I mean, we could do a whole show about the whole Derek Carr situation. Of course, I'm waiting for him to hear.
I'm down to do that. You can interview me about Derek Carr and how I feel about the situation. I'm down, and I will give you a better, honest opinion than his brother gave.
Well, again, I'll say this, and I'll touch on it quickly. Um, as far as and a lot of the things that other people have said, I agree with them. I agree with what Matt. I agree with what Matt. Well, what I agree with what Matt Hasselbeck said on Countdown. I agree with what Emmanuel Acho said on Fox to a degree.
Speak for yourself.
But yeah, but since 2016, he has regressed.
He
That
hasn't been the
ankle
same.
injury did regress him. Has not been the same. He would have been the MVP in 2016 if Donald Penn didn't blow his
Oh,
assignment.
he was but no, I don't blame Donald Penn. I blame Del
No,
Rio. We're up.
I get I I get that and I hear you, but Donald Penn to this day still says that's
Well,
my
yeah,
fault. He broke
because
his ankle
as a
because
man,
you know how you
I
you
understand.
know how off linemen are.
Yes, I understand. Donald Penn as a man and as a leader of being on the O lineman, yeah, you take responsibility. But there was no need for Derek Carr to be in that game. We were up. Me and Pop left the game because they were up. We were there. We
Yeah,
didn't
you
see
are.
the injury, but I heard everything from that stadium while we're waiting for the train to come pick us up. You heard the energy from that stadium just, oh. It was comfortable. I looked at Pop. I was like, you good? He was like, yep. We out. Confident. And he breaks his damn leg. But as you say, to touch on it real quick, after that,
but
he has not been the same.
yes, his stats have gone up drastically when John Gruden was that coach.
But the second half of the season, his stats have always dwindled.
Yes, it has.
Starts hot in the first beginning, and that's with every coach he has. Even with the best OC he has was Musgrave. His best year was with Musgrave.
Correct.
But if you saw in the second half of that year, it went down. So, and I'm going to say this right now. I am a Derek Carr supporter because he was the quarterback of the Raiders. I'm going to ride with my quarterback. I do have a certain few players that I am a big fan of, i.e. Darren Waller. Even when if Darren Waller goes somewhere else, I'm still going to be a Darren Waller fan. But I am a fan of the Raiders. So I'm riding with Stidham. He's the quarterback now. If he's the quarterback next year, I'm going to ride with him. If we draft a rookie and we ride with him, I'm riding with him. But I'm telling you who I'm not riding with. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Jimmy fucking Garoppolo. Porno Jimmy. Not rocking with him. If it ain't Lamar, Stidham, or a rookie, I don't need those others. I don't. You clearly just saw that this offense is tailor-made around a mobile quarterback. So why would we get Brady, who is a statue, just like Carr? I'm going to tell you what, a few of those rushes that your Niners did, Carr would have folded like a chair. Or he would have threw it away. The second touchdown to Devontae Adams, I've never seen Carr stay in the pocket like that and take a hit and deliver a touchdown like that. Well, maybe the Chiefs game when Henry Ruggs went down the field. But Carr folds. The way the NFL is tailored now, you need a mobile quarterback. You're clearly seeing it. Justin Fields. Even your quarterback can get loose a little bit. Kenny Pickett gets loose. Dak Prescott gets loose. Jalen Hurts gets loose. Patrick Mahomes gets loose. Do I need to continue these mobile quarterbacks in the NFL now?
It has become a mobile quarterback league. The only statues that remain are Carr, Adams, and Rodgers. And I guess you can throw in Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins isn't him too. You can throw in Kirk Cousins because he's a freaking statue too.
Exactly. But their offensive line is tailor-made around their mobility. The Raiders' offensive line ain't tailored around Carr statue. You clearly saw that with Stidham. How many sacks did the Niners get against Stidham?
None.
I guarantee you guys, if Derek Carr was back, at least it got about 4 or 5.
Maybe they got one, but every time the Niners got pressure on Stidham either threw the ball out, got it out quickly, or scrambled and got positive yards. I don't think, like I said, they maybe gotten 1 sack and that's it.
You guys would have got at least about 3 or 4 with Derek Carr being out there. I promise you, because he would have folded on a few of them.
So I'll say this: if you guys decide to draft him, because as you know, like I always say, if your quarterback is not in the room, draft one until you find him. That's always been my spiel. If he's not in your room, then you draft him until you find him. So let me ask you this: if you guys decide to go to the draft quarterback, are you okay with Jared Stidham being the stopgap until that rookie is ready?
Yes. Well, hold on. Let's jump in the gun. He had one good game because I said the same thing about your quarterback. I did say the same. There's no film on him, even though you have the
correct
preseason. You technically don't really have film. So now he went up against the number one best defense in the NFL. Okay. Now,
which is a heck of a measuring stick to go up against.
Of course. Now you got the Chiefs coming in, who Derek Carr is the nemesis. That's his nemesis. If we're going to talk Derek Carr now, right now. So, and you know they're coming in gunning for what they need. So they need that win, right? If he puts up the same type of game that he did against your team, against the Chiefs, and be competitive, hell, if he even wins the game, why not? Why not give him a 2-year deal? Because he'd be a free agent. Plus, like everybody in that locker room said, when Josh McDaniels came and they traded for Stidham, Stidham was the one that was telling everybody else about the offense, lining them up, this, that, and the third. Devontae Adams said it. Waller said it. Renfro kind of mentioned it. So, yeah. If he plays well even if he plays well, I don't care if I'm at the point of right now, if you're at the point of that you're trying to figure out what you're getting out of him, win or lose, because I believe that's where we're at now. Even though, like I said, I'm not happy with the loss, but I watch football. I saw something, what he brought to that team.
There was a spark.
Exactly.
There was a spark.
So if he can play the same way he did against, like I said, the number one rated defense, win or lose, and keep us in the game and be competitive, right? Like I said, 2-year deal, draft a rookie, let Stidham give him the tools, and ride with it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay, depending on how he plays against the Chiefs, because obviously this was a make or break year for Derek Carr. You clearly see that it wasn't working for him. And like I said, that Steeler game, I believe, is what was the final.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, that pass to Renfro, I believe that is what it was, because the pass to Devontae Adams was already horrible. He just completely was not hitting his target. But that Renfro was wide open. There was no need to float that ball. Put that on the seat, because there was nobody around Renfro.
Well, and they start the weekend on Saturday. We got 2 games on Saturday, and the Raiders will start off at 1:30 p.m. on ABC, ESPN.
Now, is that our time or is that Eastern?
1:30 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, so I'll be listening to it driving to work, because I work this weekend. This is my weekend to work.
All right. So we got the Chiefs Raiders on Saturday afternoon. Sunday evening in prime time, we got the Jaguars and the Titans for the AFC South Division title.
True.
So
picking the Chiefs, taking the Jaguars.
Yeah, we both agree on the Jags. I just like what Doug Peterson is doing.
Yeah.
And like I said, Sunshine has been playing well, but we kept saying once he got his running back, his Clemson buddy, Travis Etienne, good things are going to happen, and it's happening. Um, so the early games on Sunday, we have the Buccaneers and Falcons in the Falcons'
Bucks.
nest. Even though the Buccaneers have clinched the division, I'm still taking the Bucks.
I'm picking the Bucks. I believe the Falcons will give them a nice run for their money, but the Buccaneers not a run for their money. They'll make it interesting, but I got Tom Brady's getting back to the play. Well, he's already in the playoffs, so never mind. So I got the Bucks.
Yeah. Well, we already know the Patriots control their own destiny. Orchard Park and being the Bills, especially for a fact, the Bills are going to play heavily motivated for their brother, for their comrade, Damar
Bills
Hamlin. I really have the Bills winning
blowout,
big in Orchard
blowout.
Park
I'm talking about them
against
fans.
the Pats.
You know they're gonna do a dedication to them too, and them fans is gonna be loud as shit. It's gonna be a bunch of fans out there with no shirts on throwing snowballs. Oh yeah,
Oh,
Bills.
and
Chairs,
somebody
tables will be broken.
and somebody will be going through some plunder, if you will.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Bills heavy.
Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field. Um, I'm gonna say Minnesota.
Here's the hard thing. We're doing this
Yes,
show, and we don't know who's playing, who's not playing. You know, and it's almost like we can't make our picks because I'm riding with the Vikings, though. I'm gonna ride with the Vikings on the field goal.
he says Greg Joseph will kick a winner in the Windy City. I like the Vikings simply because I think this is where Dalvin Cook will go to work and he'll eat.
Because it's gonna be cold.
Yes. Colts and Texans. You know what? I'm just gonna pick Houston just for the heck of it. I'm gonna pick the Texans because the Colts don't know who they want to be their quarterback.
You know what? I'm gonna pick the Colts on the simple fact of the matter that I want Jeff Saturday to get another win, so it's just not against my Raiders.
Oh boy. Oh goodness. Normally when these two get together, they normally disappoint. They normally disappoint because for some reason it's just the Jets and Dolphins always seem to bring out the goodness in each other and give us a good game.
No Tua, right?
But no Tua.
I think he should retire. I'm not saying this as a thing, but if he continues to get
That is
those,
a good, but that is a good question. What does what does the future hold for him? That's a good question.
so now the
Well,
Jets are eliminated, right?
Tua's question. Tua's out.
And the
Jets are out of
the
the
Jets
playoff
are out,
contention.
right?
Yes, they are. And I know the Jets will have
Jets
nothing.
win this game.
They are. And I know
I know that's fucked up because I know when he watched this, he was
no,
like, that's bullshit. But I believe the Jets win that game. On
no,
the fact of
no,
the matter, there's nothing on
no.
the
The Jets will love nothing more than to pull a 1991 when they
mm-hmm.
eliminated the Dolphins out
Mm-hmm.
of the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think Mike
I'm
White
going.
gets
I'm
right.
going with the Jets just for the simple fact of the matter to just be spoiler.
Yeah, and the fact is, Tua's out. He's not playing.
Yeah,
Xavier Howard is out. He's not playing. Eric Fisher, your offensive tackle, he's out. He's not playing.
and I
Kendall
love Teddy
Lamb, your other
Bridgewater.
offensive lineman,
I love
he's
Teddy
questionable.
Bridgewater,
But he's questionable.
and he just got back.
He yeah.
That
So
man can't stay healthy.
you're
Man,
going to put the season.
that sucks.
You're going to put the season of the Dolphins in the hands of Skylar Thompson. And that's no disrespect to Skylar Thompson because Skylar Thompson was damn good at Kansas State, played very well at Kansas State. But
he ain't
you're
ready.
asking him to put the season in his hands.
Nope.
And I'll say this: the Dolphins were once upon a time 8-3. The Dolphins were 8-3.
Yeah. You thought they was gonna win that. They're damn near. Well, now the Bills are playing damn good, but you thought it was gonna be like 1-2, Bills Dolphins.
Yeah, yeah. The Dolphins have not won since November the 27th.
Ooh,
And it's not like they're getting. And here's the thing: the only time they really got blown out was when they played the Niners.
makes
The
sense.
Niners beat them three. The Niners beat them 33-17, but they lost to the Chargers by 6, 23-17. They lost to the Bills by 3, 32-29. They lost on Christmas to the Packers, 26-20. They lost by 2 to the Patriots. So it's not like the Dolphins getting blown out. The Dolphins have lost close games. Sounds familiar?
Yeah.
So I agree. I think the Jets just in the Dolphins' misery, and
Yeah.
the Dolphins finish 8-9. But I will say this though, Mike McDaniel's has got them trending in the right direction. Leave him alone. Let him do his job. Okay, back to
Yeah, this is
18.
supposed to be a quick rundown.
Right. All right. Okay. Jets, Dolphins, Panthers, and Saints in New Orleans. I got Carolina to finish strong and finishing 7-10. Like I said,
I
I just like
believe
what Steve
Will
Wilkes is
proves
doing.
that he deserves to be the coach. I got the Panthers as well.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not
Steelers.
doing it. I'm not
Steelers.
exact.
Steelers.
You know
Steelers.
exactly where I'm going.
Steelers.
Not doing it.
Even when we went against them, we sat here and like, why the hell we do that? Because we sit here and say,
Yes.
you don't go against Mike Tomlin
Don't go against Tomlin, and he still has a chance to
for a winning
finish
season.
with the winning season.
So yes, Mike Tomlin.
Man, man's insane. Chargers at the Denver Broncos. I got the Bolts.
Fuck them.
Even though they don't have nothing to play for, but the Bolts certainly would like to get their 11th win.
Even though fuck
On
both
a
of them,
side
but
note,
you know who
I
I'm
am
pulling
excited to
for.
see.
Well, you know who I'm gonna pick.
I
I'm
do
pulling
know.
for.
Yes. But I am glad to see Justin Herbert to get at least one playoff game because, like I said, I just love the way
One thing, did you
he's
see
talented.
that catch Mike Williams made?
Mike Williams, oh, I'm telling you, when they're together and when they're healthy,
It's magic.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams is one of the best wide receiver tandems in football. The only problem is they don't play many games together, but when they are on together, they are poetry. My God.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan. I mean, we have known about Keenan Allen since his days in Berkeley, California, as a California
Playing with his
quarterback.
brother.
So we knew that we knew the talent was there. Of
Yeah.
course, him being a Florida State fan, he knows all about Mike Williams being the former Clemson Tiger playing against his beloved Florida State Seminoles. So, like I said, we knew the talent of both teams.
Oh yeah.
Keenan Allen, just like Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs, one of the best route runners in football. May not have the speed, but he can embarrass you with the way he runs routes and make catches with both of his hands.
Exactly.
Anyhow, back to the picks. Eagles and the Giants. Now here's something that's a very good scenario. So you got the Eagles, Giants,
Yes.
Cowboys, and the Commanders. They all will be playing at the same time, which will be at 4 p.m. Eastern or 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 Pacific time. So
they're
they
scoreboard
both will
watching.
be playing at. They will be scoreboard watching during the final week of the season. Eagles and Giants. Um, even with Gardner Minshew, it's boy, this I know the Giants would love nothing more than to knock the Eagles down from a 1 seed to a 5 seed.
Well, now wait. Is this game played at Lincoln Financial or is it we in East Weather?
It's
East
at the lake. It's at the lake. It's in Philly. I'm still going to pick Philadelphia just because There's parts of me that still does not trust Daniel Jones. I don't. Um, I I trust their defense. I trust their defense a heck of a lot more than I trust Daniel Jones. But I think this is the one game to where the mustache will get right. Um, yeah,
I got the Eagles. Eagles.
Jalen Hurts is still out, but I have the Eagles.
Because Minshew almost beat the Cowboys.
Yes, he did. Minshew played well against the Cowboys. He really,
Ball.
truthfully did. Yeah, man, balled out. Rams at the Seahawks at the 12s.
Seahawks.
Historically, the Rams have always been trouble for the Seahawks, but I think Gino will find a way to get it right, and the Seahawks will finish with a winning season, to which most people didn't think that would happen. And plus, I just see Kenneth Walker III just running all around through and up the Rams defense. I just do.
Been speaking highly of him.
Well, like I said, we both saw his greatness at Michigan State. And when they drafted him, I'm like, damn it.
Oh boy.
Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that 2 times a year.
No.
All right. So we got the Commies at home against the Cowboys. And we know the Commies would love nothing more than to stick to the Cowboys. But if Carson Wentz is starting, I'm going with the Arlington Cowboys.
Yeah. Arlington.
Don't go against 12. But you know what? I am wanting for change. So dang it, I'm gonna go with my heart. I am rooting for the Lions on Sunday because they've just been a fantastic story. And I really do want to see the Lions get in the playoffs. I really do. I really do.
You got them crushing Aaron Rodgers?
I have the Lions breaking the hearts on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Yes, I do. I'm going on. I'm going on the limb.
Guess what?
What?
I'm riding.
What?
I think Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh.
I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to have a good game. I believe Dan Campbell is going to have them boys ready to go. I'm gonna really, because this is the, I went against you when you had that feeling against the Lions once before. I'm not going against you this time. So yeah, I believe Dan Campbell gets the Lions in the playoffs. Let's go.
Let's go. And there we have it. Those are our picks for Week 18. Now, before we call tonight,
Yes.
also overlooked by the situation of DeMar Hamlin. Also, I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to for a long time. She was the GOAT of women's tennis before Serena came along. The original GOAT of tennis, the great Martina Navratilova, has been diagnosed with cancer.
Applaud you saying that, bro.
With 2 forms of cancer. Of course, if you never saw Martina Navratilova play,
I have.
She
Her
had
and Steffi Graf had great matches.
She had one of the wickedest. Her and Steffi Graf, her and Chris Everett had tremendous wars at Wimbledon. Martina had one of the stiffest backhands you'll ever want to see.
Preach.
And she was one of the great volley servers in tennis that you ever want to see. And for a long time, she was the standard of women's Wimbledon, because until Serena, she had won the most Wimbledon titles. I mean, she's an 18-time Grand Slam winner. So our thoughts and our prayers are definitely with Martina, because, like I said, Martina, for the longest time, until Serena came along, Martina was the standard of women's tennis. Like I said, she was tremendously the GOAT. And, if you know anything about Martina Navratilova, she's a fighter, because that's just what she did on the tennis court, be it clay, be it dirt, be it grass. That's just what Martina did. So prayers to Martina Fight like heck, Martin. We're praying for you.
Well, I just want to end this show by just more prayers for Hamlin, man. Just more prayers for him and his family, because this is bigger than football.
It is bigger than football. Hopefully, we will get some more information as the day progresses. But
Hell, we
we
might
want to
have
do
to
our
do a special prompt show if we get more updates about him.
if we get more updates. I mean, even I was going live when SportsCenter had some more updates
Yes.
on the situation with the two reporters. So definitely we can do some things. But on a side note, we are 11 days away from a reunion. 11
and
days away from
11 days away from side by side shows.
a one screen show. Yes,
No more split screen.
one screen. No more split screen. A one screen show.
And you will get multiple of those shows, because I have a pretty much a good amount of time off while you're here.
Well, not to mention that you may get a live impromptu show from Gold One Center in Sacramento, California, when a certain somebody joins the certain club. So we'll keep you posted. And we're just telling you now, there will be a lot of guest stars on that show because you got certain people, certain personalities. We might have to buy a charging. We might have to buy a battery pack just to make sure the batteries are charged, because it's going to be that show. I'm just trying to tell you. But,
yeah.
We felt like we had to do our due diligence and also talk about the situation about that is Damar Hamlin. And again, just to reiterate the fact that football is a tremendous community and it is a brotherhood. And that show tonight, as the Jungle and Bills Mafia came side by side and went to the hospital to show their support for the young man. So as it stands right now, he is in critical condition.
Yeah.
He went into cardiac arrest. His heartbeat was restored on the field as he was taken into the hospital to the University Medical Center in Cincinnati. So we will keep you posted if anything comes to mind. Like I said, whatever you believe in, whatever spirit or whatever God you believe in, whatever vibes that you do, send a prayer up for Damar Hamlin and his family. Because like Ryan Clark said, the man was living his dream at 24 years old to play in the NFL. And as you know, NFL players put their bodies on the line to play this game that we enjoy as fans. It's the number one sport in America for a
My
reason.
favorite sport, mine. I play basketball, but football is I love football.
Well, like I said, baseball has my heart, but the very first team I fell in love with was the football team. It's just that simple. I mean, as Steve Young has said on many of occasions, football is the ultimate team game, and it really is. It really is a brotherhood. It really is community, and you see the community come together like none other. So we felt like we had to do our due diligence, and put out a show, and talk about him and put the word on him, and like I said, God is still able, God is still a healer, and God is still a miracle worker.
Amen.
So we just have to stand fast and believe, because as his word says, by his stripes we are healed. So with that said, we thank you for watching the Mizzle Dub Show. I guess you can call this the ABC Nightline edition. Before that, also, shout out and a tribute to the GOAT of women's journalism, of course. We lost the tremendous, fabulous, wonderful, the great Barbara Walters.
Yes.
Before the end of the year.
Good job, brother.
Trailblazer is an understatement.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara Walters knocked the door down, kicked it down, ripped it off its hinges to become the icon that she became in the world of journalism and news. When a lot of women were not doing it. We never would have gotten Shane Pauley on the Today Show on NBC if Barbara Walters didn't do it first. As I said, when you think of ABC, in the 80s, the big three, it was Peter Jennings, Ted Koppel,
Yep.
and Barbara Walters. You
Ted.
had you have Peter Jennings doing World News Tonight,
Peter
as
Jennings.
opposed to the nightly news with Tom Brokaw, the evening news with Dan Rather on CBS. Of course,
Dan Rather.
every
You
friend
know about the classics.
Tom Brokaw, Dan Rather. I'm trying to tell you, it
Yep.
was Peter,
Yep.
Tom, Dan.
Yep.
That's
That was a rundown.
that's
Straight up.
that,
Straight
that
up.
was the that was the rundown, and then you went to bed at Johnny Carson. That's how it was.
Facts.
I'm just
I'll
telling
let
you,
you know the years we
if you
grew
were
up
born
in.
in, yeah, if you were born and raised up in the 80s, it was Tom, Dan, Peter, and Johnny Carson put you to sleep. That
Amen.
was it.
Amen.
That
Preach, brother.
that was
Preach.
it.
Preach.
But yes, I mean, all the special interviews that you see now with presidents, popes, kings, queens, celebrities, Barbara Walters was the one that kicked down the door and did that. Everybody watched the Barbara Walters special
Indeed.
on ABC.
I did.
Barbara Walters is the reason why you have The View on ABC. The View was her baby. She started it and gave it to Whoopi and the rest of the ladies, but The View, that was her baby. And
In those glasses.
she lived a tremendous, glorious 93 years. And of course, for those of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s, of course, every Friday night, I'm Hugh Downs. I am Barbara Walters. And this is 2020.
Yes.
That's if I had the music queued up, I'd play the music right now, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I would be amiss if I didn't pay a tribute to one of the pioneers of journalism and news, the great Barbara Walters. Also, prayers to Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, pull through, brother. We're
100.
praying for you all. We're praying for
Snowplow,
you
man.
also.
Just snowplow. They said it was his legs, right?
I didn't get a chance to read the story, but he's in critical condition as well. But Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, uh, pull through. We're praying for you also. Also want to get that in. I think we've covered everything for now.
Yeah.
Anything, but again, we thank you for watching the Mizzle Dub Show. Of course, catch us on our YouTube page, leave comments, subscribe. Again, those that are subscribing, we thank you. We
And
certainly
bigger
hope and
things
pray
may
for
be
you.
coming.
We certainly hope and pray for you that 23 will be better and bigger for you in 22. So with
Amen.
that said, live, prosper, and love. And of course, it's 5 o'clock some damn where. And actually, it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast right now as we speak. Indeed. Anyhow, we thank you for watching the Mizzle Dub Show,
Yes.
and we say good night. And remember, one screen shows coming real soon.
Real soon.
Sooner than you think.
Exactly. All right, brother.
All right, sir.